The February editorial of Taiwan Business Topics magazine is entitled The Key to an Improved Business Outlook. The results of AmCham Taipei's 2013 Business Climate Survey, summarized elsewhere in this issue, prompted some observers to wonder about an apparent anomaly in the responses. The business executives surveyed expressed considerable optimism about prospects for the coming year. They said, for example, that they expected to see an increase in revenue and profits from 2012, and 53 of their companies, up from 43% the year before, had plans to increase their investment in Taiwan during 2013. Yet, when asked about the five-year outlook for their business in Taiwan, just 56% said they were optimistic, continuing a downward trend from the 81% in 2011 and 70% in 2012. Although the reason for the difference between the near-term and medium-term outlook is not dealt with explicitly in the survey, it is possible to extrapolate from the survey data to find an explanation. Several of the primary concerns raised by the respondents about the business environment are issues whose impact may be felt increasingly strongly as time goes by, unless steps are taken promptly to forestall that development. Some key examples: the threat of economic isolation if political factors keep Taiwan from participating in emerging regional trade blocs and deter major trading countries from negotiating free trade agreements, FTAs, with Taiwan. Chronic bureaucratic inefficiencies that hamper Taiwan's competitiveness at a time when some leading trade rivals are actively engaging in reform and deregulation to accelerate their progress. Respondents cited lack of transparency and insufficient notice before regulatory changes are introduced as significant problems. Human resource deficiencies, both an inadequate availability of talent in certain fields and the insufficient creativity and initiative in what is otherwise an excellent workforce. Fortunately, there is still time to turn the situation around and rebuild broader confidence in Taiwan as a good place to invest for the long term. In fact, developments in recent weeks offer cause for some optimism on that score. Taiwan and the United States, for example, have now confirmed that the long-stalled Trade and Investment Framework Agreement, TIFA talks, between the two countries will be held in March. In late January, a bipartisan delegation from the U.S. House of Representatives Foreign Affairs Committee, led by Committee Chairman Edward Royce, visited Taipei with an even more ambitious message: support for the two countries to enter into negotiations for an FTA. The same month, news was released that 20 WTO member economies, including Taiwan, the United States, the European Union, and Japan, may soon start negotiations on an International Services Agreement, ISA. Participating in the ISA, as well as moving forward on an FTA with the United States, would go a long way in helping Taiwan to avert economic marginalization. It would also give Taiwan the incentive to bring its regulatory procedures up to a high international standard and to further open its economy for the unimpeded flow of goods and services, money, and talent. With those changes, both domestic and foreign investors would unquestionably view Taiwan's economic prospects for whatever time span as exceedingly robust. AmCham Taipei looks forward to concrete progress on TIFA and FTA with the United States and ISA, with the results that the five-year outlook in next year's Business Climate Survey takes a sharp turn for the better.